various levels, consciousness shift happens. When few people do understand, indeed change is happening, but as this number increases, change becomes rapid, and that which bridges it is science. So I would like to always add science into it. So let us now see in this experiment that was done in Stuttgart Aerospace Center. It is very near to where we live here, Stuttgart. One day I wish to be there and even see what exactly more they're doing on this water. So to what extent? So earlier we said the DNA virus sample was transmitted. So to what extent can this water remember? So this Stuttgart Aerospace Center had made an experiment. So now as we move on, there are various experiments that are being conducted across the world. And I think we are still at the starting point in understanding scientifically what water wants to say to us. Let us also see very quickly this video. It's just few minutes, but it's very interesting.
To what extent is water capable of picking up information? What does it perceive? And how does it remember it over time?
The Aerospace Institute in Stuttgart has discovered a relatively simple way of making the structure of a drop of water visible. The researchers have had their efforts rewarded by insights into a very beautiful world. Each drop has a face of its own, unmistakable and unique. Why are the individual drops so different from one another? We got a lot of people to come to a lecture hall here at the Institute, gave them all the same water, had them make drops at exactly the same time, collected all the drops, and then discovered that each individual produced different images from the same water. And here you can see the results. There on the right you can see that the images of the individual students are different, but those made by a given student are all quite similar. This is the work of the first experimenter, this one here from the second, this from the third, and this from the fourth. Individually, they can quite easily be reproduced, but you would never have thought that they were all from the same water, because when you compare the images from the different people, you see some big differences. Then we undertook experiments to find out whether things changed when we put something into the water. A real flower was placed in the water. A while later, we took a drop of water, and here you can see one of the pictures. And you can see it in this picture. It's the typical image you get when you put a flower into water. You could recognize the flower in every single drop in this glass, of course. That can be reproduced and has significance. And if you were to put a different flower in here, for example, a Sweet William flower, then all the drops of this water would look like Sweet William. The statement that water has a memory practically changes our whole way of looking at the world, of course. Let's travel down the Rhine in the figurative sense. The water is flowing down the Rhine, picking up information everywhere it goes. So the water has more information at the mouth of the Rhine than it had at the source. And the Dutch, living at the mouth, when they drink that water, they're also drinking all that information. Thus, the world's oceans would no longer be something that separates us, but instead a giant storehouse of information, and the rain would perhaps be a data medium carrying information to the world.
So isn't it interesting that rain most probably is a database of information that is coming? That's an amazing piece of statement. And every time we do have rain, probably this rain is not just water, but is bringing from above wonderful data or wonderful information through it. So it is indeed a wonderful present, let's say, experiment. Let us now move on to our presentation. So what is also interesting here is the fact that everyone, when they made this experiment, so each person, when they took water from the same source, were able to provide images which were pretty similar. And this is a different person, this is a different person, this is a different person, which means each one of us has some pattern that is recorded by the water, and it seems as if it is the digital signature of ours. Although there is a bit difference, but they are pretty much similar. Means depending on person, water is also changing. So as I see these and hear this part, I do remember one of the proverbs that we do have in South India, and they say, when you go to a place and you know that those people do not like you, then don't even drink the water they give you. Most probably at those times when I used to hear these, I used to laugh. But maybe, as I said, maybe they knew more than what we know now. Because for this reason, when these people, when you know that they don't like you and they give you water with that intention of not liking you, with an intention of hate, with an intention of jealous, maybe that is the memory that is transmitted to the water, and that is what we consume. So they used to say, don't take it because that water is as much equal as poison. Maybe they knew already these intricate aspects of water. So now let us move on to one of the most interesting discoverers, I would say, who did extensive research. I would call him God of water memory or father of water memory, whatever, because he had opened up to the world some wonderful information about water memory. In the earlier two experiments, it is very clear that water has the property of memorizing. Water has memory. There is no doubt in that. Scientifically, it is a well proven fact. So, Masaru Emoto, a scientist from Japan, he did extensive research. He had been dealing with water since early 1990s. He believed that water could absorb and store the influences of thoughts and feelings. Just like the experiment that was done in Stuttgart. You see, they put a flower in water, and that pattern of flavor is recorded and is being shown in the memory of water. These were recently done experiments, 2012, but Dr. Masaru Emoto, he did lots of his experiments in 1990s. He thought that water is influenced by our thoughts and feelings. He came to this view through experiments with bottled water, because he used to write some positive messages on the bottle, and he used to just write thank you, or he used to write some negative messages on the bottle like war or evil, and then froze this water. He used to freeze this water. Just a moment, sorry. Sorry, friends. So the experiment used to go like this. So he used to write the messages on the bottles. So on these bottles, he used to write the words, Or he used to put the water on some photos. Like you see here, there are dolphins, and he used to put the water on a photo or write some messages on this bottle. Or he used to place the water and play some music. Yeah. Then he used to take a part of the water, freeze it, so that this water condenses and crystals are formed when it is frozen to a lower temperatures, I think -20 to -40 degrees centigrade. And then that water, the crystalline part of that water is observed through the microscope. Okay. So he made certain connection between the appearance of the ice crystal and the quality or condition of water. According to his hypothesis, water labeled with positive messages always formed perfect ice crystals, while water with negative messages takes on imperfect crystal forms. The known basics of crystal formation of flakes have been ignored itself. Water would like to say, as if I have life, please treat me like you. So we will now go through various pictures he had captured. So there were also some experiments where he used to collect water from a river, polluted river. He used to do the same experiment and see the crystalline form of this water. And then he used to gather people around this water and speak positive things. The same water, speak positive things, and then do the same experiment. And what he noted is that the crystalline form of that water, after positive intentions were passed for this polluted water, had been completely changed. So there were very clear, perfect ice crystals formation. So how our thoughts, how our words are being captured by water, we will see them. So here, as you see, he did not do anything. He just write on the bottle some positive or negative messages, and then he observes through this process what is the crystalline structure of this water. So here he placed water over a dolphin picture, and you see this is the crystalline structure of water when it is placed on over a dolphin picture. So water is the mirror that has the ability to show us what we cannot see. When you see water, it is plain. You think there is nothing. But it is a blueprint for our reality. And it can change with a single positive thought. Or it can just change because of the environment it is in. Or it can just change because something is written on top of it. Such powerful is the memory, or such sensitive, I would say, is water. So then they play music, Swan Lake music. For sure, many of you might have heard this, or else you can search on YouTube. This is pretty much one of the famous music bits of the past. So they play this Swan Lake music between this water, plays between the speakers, and this is the crystalline structure. And then they play heavy metal music, and this is the crystalline structure of water. So can you imagine how what we hear is programming the water within our body? Isn't it amazing? If you are hearing some violent stuff, a horror movie, for example, what is happening to the cellular level of our water in our body? What is happening when we are having a shouting environment at our home, and what happens to the water within our body, and what happens to the water that is just there in the home that we drink later? What happens when we are hearing some news, negative news, continuously on TV? There are some famous news channels that keep on shouting. What happens when we hear those news channels? What is happening to our cellular level? We think nothing is happening. We think that we are just hearing news, but lots of stuff is happening. You see the beauty here of this Swan Lake music versus heavy metal music. It's incredible. It's amazing. It's mind blowing. It's thought provoking. We have to change the way we are living. We have to change the way we perceive things all these days, because everything is affecting everything else. Each one of us is affecting and changing the molecular structure of our body and the molecular structure of everything around us and in this universe. Because as we said earlier, every time we breathe out, we are also giving out some of our water molecules. And just like in the first experiment, where the water, even though there was no contact and it was just hearing to a digital signature, was able to transmit the same original, let's say the DNA to water 1,500 kilometers away. Imagine when you think positive and you're breathing, every breath of yours is being transmitted to the universe, to the environment, and it has an impact, either positive if you're thinking positive, negative if you're thinking negative. First, it is affecting you, and then it is also affecting everything else. That is why being good to yourself, you're being good to the nature. Whenever you do a good act to yourself, you're doing good act to rest around us. Whenever you meditate, you're not just meditating for yourself, but you're affecting everything else around, positive or negative. So just become conscious about the impact of our living, about the impact of what we do and how it changes the environment within us. Let's move further. So when the word called peace is written on the bottle of the water, a bottle of water, this is the crystalline structure that is observed. And when it is written hope, just the letter hope on your water bottle, or you write hope on a paper and place your water bottle on that, that memory is transmitted into water, and this is how the crystalline structure is observed. Isn't it wonderful? Aren't they beautiful compared to what we earlier saw in case of heavy metal music? You see, whenever you just utter the word peace, what is happening? When you just think or have hope or speak about hope, see what is happening within your body. The total water in your body is changed to this crystalline structure. When you are happy, and or when you just have the word called happiness, see the crystalline structure, how it is transforming. When you speak about love and gratitude, see what is happening. Isn't it beautiful? You just look at these pictures and you just would like to just stare at them. But most importantly, start connecting to those emotions which are resembling these beautiful pictures. Start changing yourself by thinking about happiness, by thinking about love, by being in gratitude, because just by thinking, a lot of things are happening. We move on. And here, what you see in the background of these slides is also transmitting, because just like water, by just placing on a paper where there were dolphins, it was able to change its crystalline structure. Every time we see these things, we are also let's say, memorizing our water molecules within our body are also memorizing and being changed. This one, what you are seeing here in this slide as the background, is the image, crystalline structure of water after prayers were offered on a polluted water. So the polluted water had a completely non-crystalline structure, no any image. And then people gather around and they give positive vibes to it. They say nice things to it. And this is how it had changed. Well, let's move on. Love and appreciation. It is like this. Thank you. When you say thank you, thanks to everyone who are here today, because it is all your intentions out of which this information is passing. And just by this sentence being said, just by this emotion being felt, we are all connected, and all our crystalline structure, all our water cells within our body change into this beautiful form. When Mother Teresa is written on the bottle of water, see the crystalline structure, how it is changed. It is same about heal. When you write about heal, you will also find wonderful crystalline structure. I think I have somewhere, I don't know if I have put on these slides. Let us move on. And this is another very, very interesting thing. I have selected some of these images, although there are so many of them I would love to show you. But considering what is, let's say, the time factor, I put some of these important things. So imagine we are in an office environment, or let's say even at home. When you say go and do it, or rather you say do that work, with that expression, with that word, this is the crystalline structure. While when you use the word let's do it, so instead of commanding and demanding, here you're very, how would you say, it's a very nice way of saying it, let's do it. So you're together in let's do it, and you're not together but demanding and commanding when you say do it. And it is not just about the word, it is about the intention. What is much more important? Maybe I'm just saying the word let's do it, but the intention behind it is, even if I say let's do it, I will let you do it, then it is not going to work. So become aware and conscious of your intentions behind your words, because everything you feel impacts your life first, you first, and next others. So when you have hate within you, that is why it is going to affect you first. When you have anger inside you, it is going to affect you first. So everything is going to influence you first. So we would not like to be affected. Then it is better that we have those intentions and emotions which we wish to experience for ourselves within ourselves. And always understand that everything you think, everything you say, and everything you feel has an impact. So kindly use and have an intention of let's do it from today. Be a part of the team rather than pushing it up to others. Do it. So this is an interesting, very interesting image. You can use these even in your office environments, explaining it how it affects, because that will bring up a very good inspiration, motivation, and teamwork. That's the success. That is how the success happens. And again, effect of negative words. You see, when somebody is saying, you make me sick, I kill you, this is the crystalline structure. Or it's really dirty. Whenever you have this word that is being said, this is the crystalline structure. And when you say, you fool, when you're blaming others, he's an idiot, you're a fool, blah, 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 blah. you see what is happening. It's not nice, not at all nice compared to what we saw in earlier slides, right? So be conscious about what you're thinking. Maybe even you're thinking that someone is not nice. That is enough, that your crystalline structure is being changed. He is not being impacted by your thought, but you are firstly impacted. When you think bad about others, it is impacting you at the first step. So please be very, very careful. That is why never say negative words. Never think negative. And most importantly, watch your self-talk. You're creating your reality. Watch your self-talk. What you're talking to yourself about yourself. I'm able, I'm capable, or are you thinking and talking about, oh, this is a big job. Maybe I cannot do. Maybe I'm unable to do. The moment you're already talking that way to yourself, and with every breath you intake and outtake, you're transmitting these energy codes, these memories into the atmosphere, into the environment, and you create your own reality. So watch your self-talk, friends, please. It's very, very important, because if you want to be healthy, think about being healthy. Don't think, I don't want to be sick. Because when you think, I don't want to be sick, you're thinking about sickness. And you're already changing, because that is how it works, your total crystalline structure of your water molecules. So always think what you want, not what you don't want. So if you want to be rich, think about being rich. Don't think that if I lose my job, I will be poor. No, why do you think that way? Think about what you want. If you want to be healthy, and if you hear news about some disease, don't think that you will be affected by it. Instead, think about being healthy. So always attract and think about what you want, because things happen in fraction of moments. Things are changing. So be very careful, be very conscious, be very aware. You create your own reality. This is what I was just saying. Make sure you think and talk about things you want rather than what you don't want. Because whenever you think what you don't want, that is what you're creating, that is what you're programming, that is what you're sharing to the universe. And everyone is programming one's own life and realities. So you are completely responsible for what you're experiencing, because of your words, because of your thoughts, and because of your emotions and feelings. You create your own reality. So it is never late. Don't think you have lost a lot of time, but at least you know now. Once you know, it is just a matter of thinking. It needs the same energy to think either way. So let us rather think in the way we wish to live our life, lead our life. So let's move ahead. When the word called wisdom is written on the bottle, this is how the crystalline structure is formed. Harmony, this is how it is formed. Beautiful, isn't it? When you say, I love you, this is how the crystalline structure is formed. And even intention is important behind these words when they are said. So we have to indeed, Baswi, you rightly said, we have to be very careful in how we use our words, even how we think. And you very well said, whenever we drink water, what are we thinking when we are drinking water? Are we really conscious when we are drinking water? When we hear all these, let's say, interesting information, we need to have a thought about it. Do we just take the water and just drink, or we don't even are aware of our emotional state when we are drinking? Isn't it the right way to become aware, conscious, be conscious, and have the right energy and intention with every sip of water we take? Yeah, we will come to it, Basvi, as we move on to the other slides. So, family love. So the word called family love is written on a paper, and it is attached to the water bottle, and then it is looked through the microscope. And this is what that comes. So this is what Masaru Emoto would like to say about this. When we showed the phrase family love, the crystal grew into three layers. Masaru Emoto interprets this as follows. The bottom layer, you see there are three layers in this. One layer, second layer, third layer, three layers of crystals. The bottom layer represents the grandparents. The middle layer is the parents, and the top layer is the children. It gives the impression that the presence of grandparents is the most important in the family love. Isn't it interesting? Each of these images can be interpreted. Love for humanity. You see how beautiful crystalline structure it is. This crystal greatly resembles the one from neighborly love. It truly expresses the idea that you see a part to see the whole, and you see the whole to see a part, doesn't it? You see each one resembles the other. So only then can you, so, sorry, first you must be able to love yourself. Self-love. We heard a few weeks ago this wonderful topic that is shared, self-love. So first you must be able to love yourself, and then you will be able to love your family. Only then can you love your neighbors, and from there your homeland and humankind. It goes on. When we say earth, this is the crystalline structure that had formed. So this is what Masaru Emoto, Master Masaru Emoto would like to say about this crystal. We are beginning to hear the groaning from our tortured planet. We are at a point when we must realize that if we want to continue to call this planet our home, we need to change. Not the planet, but ourselves. Isn't it? Just think about it. How are we treating our planet Earth? How are we treating? This is our home. The Earth planet is giving everything for us to survive, and what are we giving it back? Our thoughts can change everything. Our way of living can change the way we treat Mother Earth. The food we take can change. So think about it. Really think about everything that you do in life, because it is a circle. Don't think that just by changing myself, what is going to change? No. With every single thought, there is tremendous change that can happen. Yes? So friends, let's move. So this we already saw. Yeah. These are the wonderful crystals of happiness, love, and gratitude. Have a closer look at these images. I want you all to take these memories into you. Have this feeling of happiness for hearing this wonderful wisdom of water today. Just have this sensation of happiness. Feel it. And be in love with yourself. In love with water, what it is sharing to us today. Have an intention of gratitude to everything in life, everything, because with every breath, lot of things we are receiving. With every exhaling breath, lot of things we are sharing. So just by having this feeling of gratitude, you're multiplying it, you're enhancing it, you're enriching it. So have a deeper look at this, and let's all meditate into these words and vibrations of happiness, love, and gratitude. Friends, I invite you all for a couple of minutes of meditation in order to integrate all this wisdom of water, all these energies that we have received in this 1 hour of time. Let us all meditate before we move on. So, friends, please grab water that you have beside you. Have an intention of love, happiness, gratitude, joy, bliss, healing, health, prosperity, success, unity, self love, and then have a sip of that water. And let us all meditate. Please clasp your hands, fingers into fingers, cross your legs, close your eyes, and just observe your feelings, your thoughts, your emotions now, and align to what you want in your life. Because just with that thought, you're transforming your 100 trillion cells in just a fraction of moment. Just by being grateful, when you become the embodiment of gratitude, think about how pure the water that fills your body will become, is becoming, had become. When this happens, you yourself will be a beautiful, shining crystal of light, just like the images we have seen. Let us all vibrate and resonate with that highest form of thoughts we can ever have, connecting each and every one of us at this moment of time, because there is no space that divides the energy. We may be separated by distance, but we are always connected by our thoughts because of water. Let us all shine like these crystals that we have seen. And everything happens just by a thought. Do not limit yourself. We are all limitless beings, and our thoughts define us. We are never alone. Every breath we take, the universe is coming inside us. The universe is sharing tremendous information into us. So, what is stopping? There is nothing that can stop. We are all beings of greatness. We are all limitless beings. Feel these wonderful energies, highly resonating energies. As we are all connected in this energy web, and the whole universe resonates with this, what we are resonating now. Space and time does not matter. Last 10 seconds, friends. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Grab the water that is beside you and have a sip of it with these wonderful energies, intentions, and emotions. Welcome back, friends. I would like to hear just two experiences before we move on. Anybody would like to share? How was this meditation? Were you able to, very briefly, please, in few seconds? Yes, yes, you can. You should be able to unmute yourself.
Hi, Ram. This is Swapna from Austin, Texas.
Yes.
It's been a wonderful meditation. Actually, when you were telling those affirmations, I could really feel that peace within me. And I mean, it's amazing. It's very beautiful. And it is so, you gave such a very important tool that to make us conscious and aware about how we need to be throughout the day. So thank you so much.
Wonderful, Swapnaji. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, friends, anyone else?
Hello, Ram. It's Indra.
Hi, Indraji.
It's a really amazing experience. I've been meditating for 2 years, but this is something completely different, mind-blowing. Thank you. Thank you, Ram.
Wonderful, Indraji. Wonderful. So thanks to all our friends here, and thanks to water that is sharing these energies today. Thank you. Thanks for sharing that. Yes, friends, anyone?
Hi Ram, this is Smita.
Hi, Smitaji.
I have a question. Of course, it is a wonderful section. Thank you for
We
that
take
one.
questions later, Smitaji, as we move on. Yeah,
Oh, okay, please go on then.
yeah. If you want to share your experience, please.
Yeah, this is wonderful experience when you've been answered all my questions like how we take the dip in the holy water and how it vanish our karmas, and then what is about the theta, like what is the reason behind that water. It's you it's like you read my mind and then answered all my questions. Thank you for that.
Wonderful. There is some more interesting content to come. Just hang on.
Okay. Mhm. Sure.
Then we move on to Q&A. Yeah. Anyone else, friends? Last one before we move.
Hi Ram, this is
Yes,
Surekha
Ram.
from Austin.
Hi, Sureka ji. Hi.
Hi, amazing session. Actually, I never knew about water so much. I learned in your session. I've been on and off disconnecting and doing some house chores, but I could relate so much what you're telling. And my mind, when I was doing your 5 minutes or few seconds of meditation, I just wanted to share this with everyone whom I know. I just like my heart is telling that I have to spread this. I have to spread this. That's all. That's all I wanted to share with you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. The moment you have already this sensation, know that there is a Everest of change you have already done in this universe. And
Yeah,
now,
it was
yes,
just
please do share.
bothering me to share. Like I need to share with my family, with my kids, with my husband, how water is so important. Every sip of water. I never paid attention when I was drinking water. Now I feel like I have to be conscious when I'm drinking water.
Yes.
So
Yes.
amazing. Thank you.
Yes. With tremendous power, what water brings, it brings also tremendous responsibility on how we use it. So this is an interesting learning of today, that water has tremendous power. This is what we learned today. And always with tremendous power comes greater responsibility. Yes, Abir?
Yes, Ram. Actually, what I want to share, what I realize that we have ability which we don't understand. I mean, all the sources of nature around us, and actually, somehow God put everything in our hand, and we misuse it by not thinking in the right way. I mean, the water in front of us, pure and clean. And just with our mind, with our thought, with our action, we can spoil the nature of the water. So we are actually masters of this universe, and we don't know that. We should actually think and take responsibility about using the sources which God gave to us by thinking right and acting right. This is what came to me. Plus, I want to add that while I was having the meditation with you, somehow all these form of crystals start to form in front of my eye. And I realize actually it is not unusual. It is unusual presentation because it's already inside me. I just realized it through your presentation. Thank you very much for the
Wonderful,
knowledge,
Abir.
Ron.
Wonderful. Thanks for sharing. Thank you. Thank you. That's beautiful. Well said. Good, friends. Let's move on.
Thank you.
So, I would like to share one more interesting, very interesting stuff. You can all do this experiment. So it's called rice consciousness experiment. This is something I can spend 1 hour and speak about this because I did it by myself, and you can all do it for yourself. So till now, we spoke about how water has memory, how water is transformed with the words. In the rice consciousness experiment, what is done is you take two identical glass jars, and then you place inside cooked rice. Yeah. So basically it is the same quantity, same rice, same temperature, everything same, yeah, same vessels, same sealed. And then on top of one, you write, I hate you. On another one, you just write, I love you. And as day progresses, you will notice that the vessel which you have written, I hate you, start to rot, while the vessel which you have written, I love you, continues to remain better or fresh for longer and longer and longer periods of time. I did this experiment myself because, you know, I love to share what I know, and I keep sharing to my colleagues at work. And when I used to live in Egypt, when I shared about stuff like these, that thoughts have power, thoughts can influence things, we had lots of discussions. And then I said, let's do an experiment. So in office, with almost 10 to 15 of our colleagues, we did this research, let's say this experiment. So we did it, and that was amazing. And it completely transformed the way all my colleagues, all, let's say, I would say my friends, started to perceive their life, their thoughts and emotions as such after doing this experiment. You can do this for yourself. And here what it means, okay, rice has a water content in it, so maybe rice is hearing it, or let's say the water, that the water cells within this boiled rice is hearing it. Yes, that's true, but it does not just stop there. So everything is consciousness. Of course, there are various levels of consciousness, but everything is consciousness. I would like to share another experience of mine. I have participated in one of the spiritual events, let's say workshops, scientific spiritual events. It's called GCSS, Global Congress of Spiritual Scientists. So just like the doctors that we heard earlier, such great people do participate in these seminars, and they share their wisdom and findings. And when I participated there, one of these speakers was saying that everything has life, and everything can, let's say, remember and record stuff that is happening around. I was pretty much young at those times in terms of my understandings about spiritual stuff. So I was, you know, kind of skeptical and laughing when I heard this statement. I said, what? What do you mean? I do understand people have memory. Yes, that's fine. I was still not introduced to the memory of water back then. But then he was claiming, the speaker was claiming, that even solid matter like a mobile phone or a pen or a rock has consciousness and can record, remember stuff. I said, no way. So he said, well, we prove it. We can make an experiment. We can make a, what do you say, a session. So right then, we were almost close to 80, 90 people in that workshop. He said, randomly select your partner whom you don't know, because we were all strangers there joining this workshop. So everyone randomly chose one partner. And then he said, stand in front of each other and now share something that is your personal. So any of your objects, somebody, they gave their rings, their chain, their pen, whatever. Yeah. So I was there participating in that workshop. So I gave my mobile phone to the fellow participant. And then I don't even remember what he gave. Probably he gave his wristwatch to me. And then they said, okay, hold it in your, between your palms. And then they guided through a journey of how you can connect to the consciousness of that material. So after that, through the process, I was skeptical, kind of opening my eyes and looking around to understand what is happening. Is it some kind of trap? Is it something that people already know each other and I'm the only one stranger here? So I was pretty skeptical and observing things, but I was curious, you know. So that is why I went there. I wanted to learn something. So at the end of the session, it was just a 20 minutes guided session. And then they said, now let us hear if you have felt something as you hold these articles. So each one had shared. So there was a person who went onto the stage or took over the mic, and he said, yes, this fellow participant had shared her chain to this lady. And she said, as I hold this chain, I feel that this was gifted by her mother. And the lady said, yes, yes, that's true. That was gifted by my mother. And then she started to share certain very personal things of her life. So the lady there was almost in tears. We were all amazed. I was also amazed, but somewhere deep within me, I was kind of doubting. Maybe these two people knew each other and it's pretty much staged. So there were few more people sharing their experiences, how they connected and what were the messages they got from these physical objects. And every experience was different. Every experience was amazing. So then I turned to my, let's say, partner, and I asked him, so did you feel anything? So he said, well, I don't know. This is also very new to me. I do not meditate, but I just came here, just curiosity. But I will tell you what I felt as I kept holding this. And he said, yes, please tell me. So he told, okay, this one is your, not your personal mobile. This is your, this is the mobile that was given by your office. This is your work mobile. I said, yes, that's true, but that was a BlackBerry. And at those times, it was almost 10 years ago, those times, BlackBerry was almost a work mobile, never a personal mobile. So I said, okay, it's a guess. I said, yes, that's fine. That's correct. And then he said, the second thing was, I felt that you really keep your personal things very much, you take very good care of them. You keep them very clean and you really take care of them. So I said, oh, yes, that's true, but that's quite obvious because my mobile phone was as new as it can be. So it can also be a guess. And then I said, yes. And then the next statement he said blew me off. He said that I don't know why I feel that this mobile was given to you in February, 23rd February 2009. I was like, oh my God, year is correct. I remember. Month, I do remember. Date, I don't remember. But it was pretty much close to the date he mentioned. I said, I was basically frozen because he gave certain details that only I knew. And that was a beginning of changing of perceptions, how I started to see things at. Everything has memory. Everything need to be respected, not just water, everything else, because everything is consciousness. And that is how then I understood in many practices how, black magic, they just take a personal object of someone else and they try to take control or rather influence negatively the other person, is also working the same way because it is the consciousness. That is when I understood the science behind it, or rather how it works. So everything is consciousness. So friends, please be very conscious about each and everything. I invite you to do this rise consciousness experiment. So become aware of how you're thinking, become aware of your energies, become aware of your intentions, because everything is important. Every single moment of your life is important, not just when you're doing, even when you're not doing anything. Yeah. So I would like to connect to you on this aspect, very interesting subject, which is the map of consciousness. So why I would like to present this, because depending on what you're experiencing in your life, it may be connected to various ways or various emotions or various processes that you may be undergoing in your life. This is one of the wonderful books I read. It's called Power versus Force, written by by David Hawkins. He did extensive research on kinesiology. This is one of the sciences where you can even do research now in many universities in US. So kinesiology is a process where um, they measure the muscular strength of a person, if it is positive or negative. And what is interesting is, even if we do not know something, and if it is positive, our muscular, let's say, muscular strength reflects positively. To give you an example, they take two closed boxes. In one box, there is, let's say, a processed sugar, and in another box, they bring natural sugars. Nobody knows in which of these containers there is natural and in which is the processed sugar. And whenever they bring the natural sugar in front of various people, and all these people always tested positive in their muscular strengths, even without knowing what it is inside. And always when they bring the processed sugar, even without they knowing what is inside, their muscular strength is weakened, is negative. Not that they feel weak, but they can measure it. So extensive research was done using this kinesiology. What this means, that we innately within ourselves know everything. That is what is called intuition many times in spiritual terms. That is why people say follow your intuition, because you know what is right. So when we are not polluted, deep within us, we know everything. Like even if it is a closed container, everyone knows what was the natural sugars. So here in this map, so in this process of kinesiology, in his research, David Hawkins had taken various emotions and he measured in a scale of 0 to 1,000. You see, they are divided into two parts. One is called power, the other one is called force. That is why his research and his book that he presented is named as Power versus Force. So force is where we are not operating at the best of our, let's say, human capabilities, or not the best or not the right emotions. And indeed, when we are in the field of force, we are weak. And then when we are with the emotions of power, we are stronger. Let us go through them. And these are divided in the scale of 0 to 1,000. So they speak about an emotion of, let's take an example of hate, and all the subjects on the scale of 0 to 1,000, they measure 175. That is how they scale this emotion of, let's say, hate as 150. So they made this research, humiliation. When, let's take a different example. What about trust? So as you move from this emotion at the level of 200, where your level is courage, you move on to a stronger power state. So observe yourself and notice your emotions in your life. And if your emotions match to any of those that match force, just change your thought process. Just find the opposite of it and just think. And as we have seen our earlier slides, how just by thinking, the molecular, let's say the cellular structure of water changes, immediately the transformation happens. Immediately. You may not notice it, you may not feel it, but it is happening. Not that everything that is happening we feel and we know, but there are multiple levels of consciousness, things are changing and things are happening. So when you experience, let's say, courage, You are at an emotion of affirmation, and in your life process, you're experiencing empowerment, and your life view is feasibility. And okay, they also add a God view, which is permitting. So as you move on, if you are at a level of acceptance in your life, the life view is very harmonious. Your emotion is forgiving because you accept, and you're in a process of transcendence. At a different perspective, it is very merciful. So when you are experiencing love, what is your emotion? Reverence. And you will be in a process of revelation, means you start to understand a lot of stuff. So it is a very interesting book. I also recommend everyone to read this book, Power versus Force, because it changes and it makes us understand a lot of stuff, because we within ourselves know everything, and it is just enough a thought alone to transform everything. Yeah. So this is all what I would like to share about consciousness, about water memory, thoughts. And now let us see, how can we program water? Let us move into the practical aspect. Yes, of course, by thinking, but are there any other interesting tools? So bring life to your water. So generally water is always kinetic. Water, if you see at its natural form, is flowing. See rivers, see the sea, see a waterfall. It is always in movement. In stagnation, there is death. In movement, there is life. So when we store water closed in bottles, we bring down the life energy of that water. So the best way to awaken the water is vortex method. Indeed, if what is vortex method? Um, that is that's the natural form of water movement. If you observe a very big water source, you see that the movement of water is always happening in a shape of a vortex. Or if you drop water in a sink with a hole, water don't go straight flat. It goes in the shape of vortex. Because when water is given the liberty and it goes back to the life, it is always taking the form of vortex. So if you want to awaken, or let's say bring life back to water, always in your water bottle, the moment you make a vortex in your bottle, you are bringing life to that water. It is one of the methods that is being that is pretty much recommended by people who connect to water and who would hear to water. They say always have this vortex method. I was last year in Egypt. One of our very closest friends, we have seen her whenever she fills her water bottles. She had made her own tool. She connects two water bottles one above the other, and she fills one bottle, connects the cap, and then inverts on the top. So when the water from the bottle on the above is going onto the bottle below, it flows through it takes the form of a vortex. So then she fills this bottle and then drinks from this bottle. And indeed, when you touch the water, you can feel that there is difference between the water, which is direct tap source, and after being activated. Well, you can try it. And the second thing is avoid using plastic bottles. It is not at all nice. We are not doing right things to the water and also to the energy of the water. So always use, if you need to use, glass bottles. And the second thing is use crystals in your bottles. I will show you. I always have, you see the crystals in this bottle. I do not know if they are visible. I have crystals in this water. There are some nice water bottles where the water compartment and the crystal compartment, they are separate. You will find them a lot on online. You can get them. So you can use those those bottles to fill your water, because crystals are the enlightened beings in the mineral kingdom. So these crystals can be programmed, and they retain a lot of energy. And when you pour water in the bottles that contain crystals, they always program also water in the best way possible that is needed to us. Very easy thing that you can do. Very, very easy thing. Write positive words on your bottles. Just like what Masaru Emoto did in all his experiments. Just writing positive words, or you can place your water bottle on top of a paper which has some positive emotions. It is enough. You're already programming your water. Yeah. Place pyramids over your bottles. It's really one of the most effective and one of the most wonderful tools, pyramids. We will also be hearing a lot about pyramids. Next week we are planning to talk and share about pyramids, so tune in, friends. Wonderful topic. And also how we can evolve by using these tools, pyramids. So that is also coming soon, so next weekend. And so you can make pyramids. So in that workshop, we'll also show you, and we all will also prepare small pyramids by ourselves very easily. So you can use those pyramids and place on the top of your water bottles, and you program and you energize your water. Yeah. And most importantly, drink consciously. When you drink consciously, you are programming your water. And be aware of your thoughts, because you're programming everything around, including the water inside yourself. So this seems this is very interesting, and at the same time very easy. As much easy as we drink water, it is as easy to also to program that very water and to program the water within ourselves. Yeah. So these are the bottles I was saying. You will find them online, but there are even simple technologies. You write on your bottles, or you place a pyramid on top of the bottle. That is also working very much. Yeah. So this is how you can program your water, just by your positive intentions. Now let us see what not to do. Yeah, very important, right? Because maybe we might be doing certain things that had fall into our regular habits, but it is always important to also see what we must not be doing. Please share these things to your friends, to your families, because that will help them. Avoid watching movies that don't align for what you want in your life. For example, watching horror movies. I really don't like it. Since my childhood, I don't know why. Not because it is fearful, but I don't like it. I never like videos that speak of hate. I never read news or continue to watch news that they scream at each other. I don't like it, because they don't align to what I want in my life. Because just by seeing, just by hearing, like what we have seen in our earlier slides, we are programming ourselves. So be conscious and avoid watching them, avoid showing them, avoid sharing them. Okay, avoid thinking about them, avoid hearing them. So what you want in life, watch that. You want fun, watch some funny movies, comedy movies. I really love watching comedy movies. I like to watch movies that have very nice meaning in them. I like to see news very shortly, very fastly, and then just move on, just as a matter of getting some information. So do not get connected to them. Some people really plan to watch horror movies, tragic movies. Why? Do you want that in your life? If yes, go ahead. If not, do not do that, because we create our own reality with what we do. And then become conscious of your music choice. If you have young kids, teenagers who are hearing to rock music, metal, you know, hard metal music, please guide them. That is really damaging the whole system of theirs. It is not at all good. So let's not do it. Have some nice instrumental music. There is, wow, I mean, uncountable nice stuff out there. So let's hang on to that. Let's utilize that. Let's share that. Let's hear to that. Let's become that. Yeah. And again, I would like to repeat it. Don't drink water unconsciously. Don't drink water unconsciously. It's not the quantity, because earlier in the first slide, we said an average person drinks 2.5 to whatever liters of water. It is not the quantity that is important, but the quality of your awareness when you drink is very important. Note this point. So don't drink water unconsciously. Just don't drink, lift the bottle and then finish it off in just one sip. No, you're not helping. Or rather, it's like you're doing an act which is not completely helping you. You're not being 100% efficient. Just change it, become conscious, and it is going to help you. The act of just quenching your thirst will also be very much helpful if you drink consciously. Say no to processed foods, because you do not know the source of your food. Know the source of your food and how it is prepared, because intention matters. Imagine someone is, I really like to cook the food at home. I really enjoy eating food at home. I really very little times would go out to eat, because you never know what is the intention of the person who is cooking, because those intentions are transferred to the food. Imagine his intentions are that the more these people eat, the more I earn, the more I get rich. If these are the intentions, the greediness is transferred to the food. And that is what we intake, and that is what we are programming ourselves to. Maybe the person inside who is cooking is not in a proper mental health. He is undergoing some mental stuff in his life, and he's transferring all those energies to the food he is cooking. So kindly reduce or kindly stop the food where you don't know the source. That is why even no to the processed foods. Again, drink consciously. Well, this is not on the right slide. Then be aware of your thoughts as you're programming everything around, including water inside yourself. Let's now, other thing which better to avoid is reduce your electromagnetic radiations whenever and as much as possible, because everything is interacting, friends, and pyramids do help in reducing these electromagnetic radiations. So make your own pyramids, and you will also see in the coming workshops how to make it, or just Google it and you will find how to make pyramids. It's just a matter of 5 minutes, you make a pyramid. And these pyramids are wonderful tools. They reduce, dampen the effect of electromagnetic radiations. And during the night, switch off your Wi-Fi if it is possible. Keep your mobile phones away, because these are all electromagnetic radiations, and you don't want to program yourself with those electromagnetic radiations. Then what to do? Program your own water. Use positive words and thoughts. Cook consciously with enriching thoughts and vibes, even when you are cooking at home. The master from whom we learned meditation, Patriji, he always used to say, the one with the highest energy must cook at home, because he is transferring the enriching vibrations to that food. Food is not just the physical matter. Food is not just the carbohydrates or proteins. It is the energy, and it is a program that we are sending into our body. So please cook consciously. have become aware when you're cooking what you're thinking, because maybe you're really affecting the people's health who would be eating it later. So kindly cook consciously, and it does not go without saying, do everything consciously. Do everything consciously. Walk barefoot on grass or sand. You may think, well, how does it come up with the water subject? Yes, everything is related. There are interesting topics about how our earth communicates with us and what water plays the role in it, on communication. Indeed, lots of information passes to our body from the earth when we walk barefoot, thanks to the water again. Yeah. And always, whenever possible, get in contact with the water bodies. If you have rivers at the places you are living, or if there is sea, go and, yeah, now it's not the time to travel, but again, whenever it is possible, have the time with these nature bodies. Connect to the plants, trees, spend time in nature as much as possible. Mhm. And then share about the power of thoughts to your near and dear, because it is not enough that we just know certain stuff. It is, in knowing, we get power, and with power comes greater responsibility. So let help each other, as helping others is helping ourselves. So it's like, when I help you, I'm helping myself. But when I help you, you help others, and they are helping me. So it's a circle. It's a circle. So when I'm sharing this, I'm helping myself. As simple as that. So when you share good things, when you share nice things to everyone, you're not just helping them, but you're helping yourself. And in terms of what to do when we speak about connect to the plants, spend time with the trees, and you can hug the trees, spend time in nature, I would like to share one more interesting stuff about this part. We recently read Anastasia book. She's a wonderful lady living in nature since she was born in Siberian forests, and she had recommended one of the very interesting ways, because the nature gives us everything to heal. And she recommends a method of how to plant seeds. Very interesting. So she says that the plants can produce the fruits. The plants can produce, the grains or whatever, to what we need in terms of energy, in terms of healing required. The plant and nature are very, very intelligent. But in order that to happen, she says, when we sow a seed, we need to take that seed, just make sure that it is a natural seed, not a chemical seed. So take that seed and pass your memory to that seed. How do you pass the memory to that? Imagine you're planting a tomato seed. Take the tomato seed, put that seed under your tongue for 3 minutes. So within this time, just like the memory of the water that transfers, we have seen in our earlier slides, all the memory of our DNA is transferred to that seed. And the seed knows about our health condition, and it can produce that really heals us, that really is required to our body. So then take that seed out, hold in your hand, and blow your air so that it gets dried, and then sow this seed in the soil. Then this plant is going to produce the fruits or whatever that really helps your physical body in healing or in terms of energy for evolving. It's a wonderful book. I recommend again everyone to read this book, Anastasia. So don't miss the rich content that is existing in that book. Lots of stuff is in there. So contact Madhu or me so we can share the screenshots of that book those particular topics about how to plant these seeds. So then the last but the most important thing, friends, meditate, meditate and meditate, because meditation makes things easier. Meditation brings our awareness higher and higher. We become conscious about everything just because of practice of meditation. So if we do everything and we use every tool, it is still not completing the full circle if we are not meditating. And meditation cannot be replaced. All these knowledge that we have heard is only helping us. But without meditation, we will not make it complete. So please meditate. It is very easy to meditate because we find ease in our life as we meditate. Meditation is not a work. Meditation is about joy. Meditation is about living our life to the fullest possible. That is why we are all here. There is no suffering. Suffering is just because we do not know a lot of stuff. In order to know, like what Dr. David Hawkins said, we all have everything that is required within ourselves. That is what is well said by the research of kinesiology. But in order to become aware, in order to know and become sensitive to ourselves and to become intuitive as much as possible, we have to drop our thoughts. We have to meditate. So meditation is the core essence of everything. So we need to meditate, meditate and meditate daily. A day when you do not meditate is a day that is lost without enjoying, without having an enriched experience. So friends, you don't need to meditate days and days together. Start with 5 minutes. You're busy, start with 3 minutes. You're busy, start with 1 minute. So you must meditate daily. So friends, I'm so grateful to all of you. It is because of all of your intentions and energies that I was able to transmit what water wanted to transmit through me today. So really, my heartfelt gratitude to all of you, and thank you, thank you, thank you. So with this, I end my sharings, and I leave the floor open to everyone now to share their views and to ask any questions if you have. Thank you.
Hi, Ram. This is Swapna again.
Hi, hi.
So my question is that you said like we program water like every day when we drink. So sometimes we drink some like neem tea or things like that. So can we program that too?
Yes, yes. So it's a very interesting question. I wanted to integrate also that part, and then I stopped it because what is happening with water, because there are certain elements in nature that, how do we say, makes the programming much faster and easier.
Mm-hmm.
And like when you put basil in water, like tulsi water,
Mm-hmm.
the water becomes more sensitive and fast enough to program. That is why if you go to temples, they have mostly this basil water, because when they are reciting these, let's say, mantras, positive intentions, positive vibrations, the water is becoming more and more easily programmed.
Oh,
And the same with turmeric powder, the same with ginger, the same with neem, the same with curry leaves. So all these natural stuff that is, let's say, once it is added into water, the water becomes even more sensitive to program. Again, how to program? The same thing. Always your intentions, your thoughts, your vibrations.
okay, sure. And also sometimes like I notice that when we play certain chants or mantras in home, there will be a lot of difference in the environment. So will that have effect? I mean, I'm sure it will have effect on everything around too, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, sure.
Everything
Thank you
has
so much.
effect around it. Again, so it is like this. The most important stuff in this is you.
Okay.
Rest of the things are tools. They're all supporting. And you is the most important element. Means you in the sense your awareness,
Mhm.
your consciousness. How is your thought process when you're handling it? Just like the Stuttgart experiment, you see, just by the touch of water, each person is able to create a different image of water. So even though there are positive vibrations around, yes, it do influence us partially. But if you have negative intentions, negative emotions, you're reprogramming it again. So you or we are the most important elements, and our consciousness and our awareness is the most important thing. Yeah.
Sorry, I got disconnected in between for a while. I don't know why. I'm sorry. Yeah, thank you so much, Ram. So one thing is that whenever I have this, I mean, sometimes when some negative, I don't say negative, but some different thoughts run through the mind. That is when I tend to play these mantras so that
Okay.
gives me a feeling that the effect will be nullified to a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. And also when I'm cooking, if I try to cook consciously, but if some thoughts come to my mind or something happens, then that is when I try to, chant something that is a positive so that I get back to my, awareness.
Yes. Wonderful.
And one last question, please. So actually, so when we talk to people, sometimes like when I counsel and when I talk to people, they share certain emotions.
Yes.
So what I noticed is it just happened yesterday that one of my friend was very worried about COVID, and she called me and she wanted to talk to me, and then I was trying to talk to her and tell her that things will be okay and send some information about meditation and all that. But after she put down the phone, I broke down.
Yeah.
So I was like, I mean, it never happened before. So yesterday it so happened that, suddenly I was feeling so bad about things suddenly. And I was aware of that. It's
Yes.
not that I was just getting carried away, but I was so aware. I was thinking, why is this happening? So I always feel that maybe when we consume, when we eat, or when we drink, we should not talk. I think that's the reason they say that, right?
Yes. Yes. Exactly.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
you very well said that. Yes. Everything is affecting us.
Yes, yes, yes.
Wonderfully
Thank you
said.
so much. Thank you
And
so much.
thanks for mentioning the part of cooking. That's the most important, because we are feeding many people in our
Yes,
home, and when we do it consciously, we are really changing a lot of stuff.
yes, yes.
So
Thank you.
so thanks a lot. And the other point about food:
Mhm.
always consume fresh food. Once the food is cooked, 3 hours is its maximum time. Do not store the food. Do not store the food in the refrigerators for longer time. Please
Okay.
consume food fresh. Never and ever do that. Our life is so enriching, and let's utilize the things that are available, put some time, add the energy, and always eat fresh.
So sometimes if we have to go out and eat, like someone invites us, or if we have to go to a restaurant and eat, I understand this energy concept because these days I'm becoming more and more conscious about it. But can't we just sit and bless the food before we eat so that we can nullify the
Yes.
effects to some extent?
Yes, yes, yes. You're right. So always having the right intentions, emotions, and feel grateful. So always I do these whenever I take the food into my hand. Automatically, I feel so grateful to food, because it is something that is going to enrich my body, enrich my
Yes,
soul, enrich my energy.
yes.
So I really start to feel very grateful, starting from the farmer who had produced it,
Yes, yes.
to the soil that had enriched it, to the water, to the rain, to the skies that had
Yes.
communicated to this soil and the plant, and to the market people who had sold it,
Sold it.
and to
Yes,
the
yes.
one who had prepared it. I just be grateful before starting to eat my meal.
Yeah, I
even
started
if
this
it is cooked
practice
by
since couple of
myself, because
months.
I just feel that it deserves to be grateful for for having a plate of rice or some meal in front of us.
Yes, yes, Ram. So I started doing this since couple of months, and I feel so good, especially after reading the untold story of Sita. Is when I understood like how important it is to thank the nature and earth. Thank you, Ram, for clarifying
Yeah,
all the
there is one
questions.
more point about eating food. The more things are asked, the more things come. So another point about, so this was the topic of cooking consciously, but another important point is eating consciously.
Mhm.
What means eating consciously? So eating consciously means achieving it with awareness. Eat slowly. Indeed, everything need to be turned into liquid before it goes into our body.
Mhm.
That is why it is said, drink your food, chew your water. So when we take a spoonful of rice or whatever it is into our mouth, unless it converts into liquid because of our conscious chewing, we should not be swallowing it into our body. So they say it takes between 30 to 40 times to chew before any food that is solid that goes into our mouth turns to juice or water. Only then we have to swallow it. So drink your food, chew your water. Chewing water means don't take the water and just drink it. Have it in your mouth, just feel it, have a nice intention, then take it inside. So drink your food, chew your water. Not the other way around, which is chew your food and drink your water. No, redefine. Let's redefine how we eat.
Thank you so much, Ram.
Thank you. Teknology. Thank you. Thank you for asking this question that got this information. Thank you. Yes, friend. Anyone? Next. I see Lydia
Hello,
Conte.
Mr. Ram.
Would you like to talk? I see that you have unmuted yourself. Lydia Conte.
Oui,
Yeah, you want to say something? I see you have unmuted.
no, no, it's okay. Very, very, very interesting conference. I love it. And it's opened me a big horizon with eating. Of course, I hear about drinking, but eating and swallowing. That's true. That's really true. And I hope to I don't know whether I can. I lost the first part. I can know whether if I can see a registration of the first 20 minutes.
Okay, okay. Yeah, it should be online. I think we will be sharing that video so you can catch up, and you can
Okay,
even
thanks
share
a
it to
lot
your
for.
friends.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Sorry. Yes, yes, friends.
Hi, Ram.
Hello.
This is Pallavi. Sorry, Sahir. You can go ahead. I'll talk later.
No, no, no. It's okay. I will wait.
Okay. I just wanted to say that this topic was, about water and its properties and energies and how we can utilize it in our life. But actually, you helped us realize that this is a conscious effort in our everyday living, consciously, to be aware of what we're doing, to remember that, and that's what I loved about your topic today, or your presentation today. And though so since we were young, we, as you said, we had tirtham and all the blessed water and whatnot. We knew there was memory, but for you to go in such depth, it was amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And later on, you and Swapna covered many other things that I wanted to say also. So good. Overall, beautiful, beautiful presentation. Thank you, Ram.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you for being here, because all of your energies had helped in channeling this information. So thank you.
You're amazing, Ram. Every time, every time. Both you and Madhu. But yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Sahir, please go ahead.
Hello, Master Ram.
Hi, Master Sayer.
I'm really amazed. How do you summarize and simplify uh, this precious information, which cannot be gathered this way you did right now? Because I know about water, and I do, like you, I keep researching about the water memory and so on. Maybe because of sound healing, meditation, and the relation between consciousness and water. But the way you told it now, you opened my mind to many things that didn't come in my mind before, and it's related to something develop slowly, which is the idea that comes to me when I'm meditating, that everything is alive, everything has consciousness. And like you said, they are not only tools, but they are all our friends. So they do whatever we intend or send them the energy. Before many years ago, if someone told me about consciousness and how, of course, I heard these things and watched videos about consciousness and how it affects things, but I wasn't really believing in this, but I saw it as I was neutral to these things, not believing it. I was a bit skeptical, like you were before. But after learning many things, like the things you were talking about today, and quantum physics, which nobody understands yet, but it's an interesting topic related to what you were saying today. And I realized that it is effective because it's the way of communication. I mean, the intention. It sends something for real, and it communicates with other things. And even in the on the atomic level, I feel like the atom is alive or full of beings. It's not only one being. It may be a tiny universe, okay, that don't know about us, or maybe knows about us in a different way. I don't know, but it's conscious the way it's behaved. Like the double slit experiment. I know that you, of course, know about it. When the electron, by observation, takes different directions, when there is no observation, it takes totally different direction, and all of the electrons does so, and photons as well. So I keep connecting all these together. The rocks are alive, in my opinion, the water and everything, but the water especially is not only an element, not only a resource. It is one of the sources, or maybe the main source, like you said, for life. Nothing is alive apart from being connected with water or being created from water, if I may say. So I cannot thank you enough. Uh, I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful, Ram, for the way you took us through a journey. You weren't explaining; you were delivering something, not to our minds, but to our hearts. Really, you turned the information into a beautiful journey that's deeply understood and easily understood. And now I won't hold the water anymore without thinking about positive thinking. I did it already while you were talking. When you said the practical part, I held the water before drinking. I thought about positive thoughts, about healing, about well-being, and I'm sure it will work. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ram, and
Thank
Madhu as
you.
well, and
Thanks a
everyone
lot,
here.
Sahar, for this wonderful inspiration that you keep giving us. You're a gem. You're a master. So we love what you do. It's amazing to be connected with you, really. So I have deep love and
It's really
respect.
my pleasure.
So thanks a lot. And indeed, what we heard today is a small speck of what really water is. So it's a limitless subject, but I'm happy that I could deliver certain important topics that bring change in the way we look water at. So I invite everyone to explore yourself, read. There is a lot of information out there, because the more we know about it, the more awareness increases automatically. So please do, friends.
Ramji, it's Indra again. Sorry, I got one more question for you.
Yeah, please.
Is it okay to drink heat water and drink warm water?
Is it okay to drink hot water or warm water?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is completely fine. It is completely fine. It is always, as we said, it is the intention that matters.
Right.
Yeah. So what
Thank
is
you.
the intention you put to that water is going to program you.
Thank you.
And always think in this way. It is not just about when we drink water, what should we be thinking? We should be thinking always about what are we always thinking? Because every thought of ours, like we have seen earlier, is programming us. Every thought of ours is creating our reality. Every thought of ours is changing the nature outside and the surroundings around us. So it is not just about what to do when we have water, or not about just what to do when we are cooking. It is about always in our life, because just a thought is influencing the atomic structure, the cellular structure of water. Imagine what is happening every time we are thinking, every time we are talking about ourselves, every time we are thinking about others. That is going to be transformational in our lives. I hope this is what something we all take into our lives after today's session.
Thank you.
Thank you, Indraji. Yes, Vijay Ram Reddy ji, would you like to talk?
Yes, Master.
Yes.
Thank you, Master, Mr. Ramesh Reddy garu. So first of all, I would like to say thank you, Mr. Basu Reddy, for sharing the session in the other groups. So thank you. So it was very great, wonderful session. Before I heard this water has memory, first time I heard through J.K. Vasudev. Then again, I read that in the book, secret book, some water, this manifestation in the glass, something positive words that. But I did not go through the details. This much details. Today I got very huge details, water memory and this powerful and happiness. Then again that first time I heard physical things also have some consciousness and memories. In that first time I heard this in this session, I got so much information in this session. As of today, we are doing not we and I am doing all our things unconsciously, eating and eating, not eating only except eating. I'm doing everything unconsciously, even drinking also. Actually, eating that is I don't know from the beginning by birth. Eating is only I'm doing conscious. Whatever now I realize why it's not happening anything for me. So I am very strong for illness and I don't have any illness and all. Maybe rarely 4 years, 5 years, small things it will be happen. So why now I realize through this session I'm eating very interesting and very lovely, full consciously. Whatever I eat,
Yes,
it's not a matter. Even though before it was I'm full non-vegetarian, but even though nothing happened to me, full spicy, whatever you eat. Uh, so because of this, I think I'm eating very consciously and very lovingly. Maybe now I realize today why it's happening for me. It's all these good things. Because of this, I'm eating very full conscious and love whatever I eat.
wonderful.
So
Very important things.
yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes.
Thanks for this very great session and wonderful session. Thank you.
I'm
Thank
very
you.
happy. I'm very happy to hear that uh, you really connected to many other topics that we shared today. Wonderful, sir.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Yes, D, I do not know the name. There is only D. Would you like to ask something or share something?
Hello, Ram. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. I have a question related to the water reaction to our energy or thoughts. So I wonder if it has its own personality or character. Like, for example, if we use water from a spring or from a river or from the mountain, it has a certain power to resist the negative thoughts that we have, or it's always only reacting to our thoughts. It doesn't have any power. It doesn't have any, I wouldn't, but it doesn't have anything to react positively, even
Wonderful.
if we give it a negative thought or a negative energy. Does it have these characteristics, skills, or I don't know, but I feel like it's from your session, it's always have the passive role. It doesn't have any power to react or to resist the negative thing. I
It's a,
hope my question is clear for you.
it's a very beautiful question. I really like it. So what these researchers say in their, I did not get your name. So what
Dua.
the Dua? Okay, Dua. So what these researchers say is we are still learning about water. There is a lot to understand about water. Having said that, they say maybe because rain is nothing but a natural filtering process of water in itself. So the water from across the cities is washed into the sea. From the sea, it is evaporated. It is going to the clouds, again coming back as a pure form. Goes to the mountains, comes back, like rivers, and we have them. So they say, what is happening during this process of filtering? Is this water being programmed by nature? Is it coming back onto the earth with some information? So your question is very much open and very much interesting. Maybe you're right. Maybe the water has a personality, because when water is taken from a spring, it shows differently, and maybe it has more strength, maybe. So I don't have the right answer for you, because we are also searching for that. And the scientific community hopefully will come up with better answers soon. But spiritually saying, or intuitively saying, I would say yes, water do have at a metaphysical level, like Sahir was saying, when it is being observed, it will behave differently. When it is not being observed, it will behave differently. Is it behaving like a wave, or is it behaving like a particle? So metaphysically, everything at metaphysical level has its own way of living. So it's pretty much open topic on that aspect. Dua.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for asking that interesting question. Thank you. So Galaxy A6 Plus.
Yes, yes. Hi. Hi, Ram.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Is it clear, right?
Yes, you're clear, except
Thank
your name, though.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for your session. It's wonderful. So I have a small doubt that nowadays, when we go outside, we are getting like hot water and cold water, same by means emission having cold water and hot water. I want to know whether the crystalline structure will change if we mix cold water and hot water. Is there anything, or I think you have answered the question drinking hot water, because it means that intention matters whatever you do. So is it the same thing?
Yes, sir. I did not get your name, though.
Kishore.
Kishore, sir. So Kishore, sir. Yes. So it is always drink consciously.
Yes.
If possible, know the source.
Okay.
And reduce the plastic bottles. That's not nice. That's not natural. If possible, because we are in a society where everything is not so easy.
Yes.
But what is easy is you being aware when you drink water.
Yes.
You becoming conscious about how you're drinking water. And again, I repeat that statement. Drink the food, give the water. So take a sip of water, have it in your mouth, let it be there, then you drink it. then you're conscious and you're aware, then everything is changed.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you for your session. So the thing is, we have seen these things somewhere, like this crystalline structure of water. What the topic you told, we have seen these things somewhere, but the thing is, we are not aware and we are not using this in our daily life. So am now I have understood it clearly, and now I will make it in my life from now onwards. Thank you very much, Ramesh.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, Basavi, would you like to talk?
Yeah. Yes, Ram. Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Can I talk in Telugu also?
Yes.
Thank you. యాక్చువల్లీ మనం ఎవరి దగ్గరికైనా వెళ్ళేటప్పుడు ఇంటికి గెస్ట్లు వచ్చినప్పుడు మనం పాజిటివ్ గా ఉన్నప్పుడు వాటర్ ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ అనేది పాజిటివ్ గా ఇస్తామన్నమాట. బట్ వాళ్ళ థింకింగ్ వచ్చి నెగిటివ్ గా ఉన్నప్పుడు ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ చేసేటప్పుడు వాళ్ళ వాటర్ అనేది మళ్ళీ నెగిటివ్ గా మారిపోయే అవకాశం ఉందా లేదా?
Yeah. It is there. So that is why when you take the water, you be conscious, you become aware. If you know the source of the person is not having proper intentions towards you and you can avoid it, avoid it. If you cannot avoid it, always be conscious, become aware, have positive thoughts, right intentions, be grateful, and everything is back to good again. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Basvi. Good question. Thank you.
Hello.
Yes, Basvi.
యాక్చువల్లీ నేను జాస్మిన్ గారిని కలిసినప్పుడు వితౌట్ ఫుడ్ అండ్ వాటర్ ఉన్నప్పుడు వాళ్ళని అడిగానమాట, మీకు వాటర్ ఎలా వస్తుందంటే ఇట్స్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్ కమ్స్ ఫ్రమ్ యూనివర్స్ అని చెప్పారు మాట. ఆ టైంలో నాకు తెలియలేదు మాట యూనివర్స్ అంటే ఎలా వస్తుంది అనుకుంటే, ఇప్పుడు అర్థమైంది మాట ఎయిర్ ద్వారా కూడా వస్తుంది అనేసి మీరు చెప్పారు వాటర్ అనేది. థ్యాంక్ యూ రామ్.
Wonderful. Yes, that's true. Anyone else, friends? Questions? Would like to share anything? So let me see the chat. We are advised to sit and drink water to be calm and focused by our elders. Yes, that is again, take time to drink, just don't drink unconsciously. Yeah. So let me go through the chat. Probably there are some questions. Should we be programming the water which we use to clean ourselves as well? Yes, you can do that. There is a nice way you can, if you have water tanks on the top of your house, you can drop some pyramids into it, you can drop some crystals into it, and it is doing its own job of cleansing the water. That's one of the wonderful ways. And yes, even when you take the shower, always do it with proper awareness. So that is also kind of programming. Any more questions here in the chat? So yes, the recording would be shared, friends. So do share your mobile number. So we have a WhatsApp group. You can be added there, or if you wish to be in contact by email, do share your email ID so that you don't miss any of the sessions that we are doing. Over that, we have daily sessions, morning 9:30 a.m. India time or 6 a.m. Europe time. Our master Sneha is guiding a session on the same link which you have used now, and evening 9:30 p.m. India time or 6 p.m. Germany time or Europe time. We have again daily session on the same link. So you can join even there. And also all our programs are posted onto YouTube channel, Beam Meditation, Beam like, BEAM, Beam Meditation. So go there, hear that, and do share if you find something interesting to you, to your near and dear. Any more questions in this? Okay, I think these are all the questions. So friends, thanks a lot for everyone. And I'm so happy that that I'm part of this sharing together with all of you, and I'm very grateful for this universe, and I'm very grateful for water for allowing me and you know letting me to share about itself. So thanks a lot, and have a nice evening, great day, and see you all soon in a different session. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Malini. Thank you.
Hello.